Morning.
Go around, yeah, go around.
Yeah, like that way, go.
So, welcome on board the Via Rail train on its way back from Churchill to our home of Winnipeg.
Yes, so this is the morning after. Our train left at 3:45 on Thursday night, technically Friday, and now it is Friday morning at about 10 a.m.
Yeah, so we'll rest assured we'll take you on a tour of the berths, but yesterday, well, it's actually yesterday morning. It was
This morning.
Really this morning actually. Yeah, it was so early that we just jumped right into bed and got up about 9 o'clock, and here we are we had a nice breakfast, didn't we?
We did, yes.
It was we got chocolate croissants from Ptarmigan restaurant that we visited last night for dinner.
An excellent restaurant in Churchill. We went
For
to
sure.
2 meals there.
That's right, and I would say that chocolate croissant is one of probably, we've been around, and that was probably one of the best chocolate croissants I think I've had. It was
Now
really quite
that's
well
a
done.
statement.
Yeah, very
And
lovely.
it's true, actually.
Flaky, yeah. Anyway, so we've done that, and we're just going to sit back and enjoy the scenery for the next 2 days, pretty much. And we'll keep you in touch as we move along. In our previous 2 videos, Gail and I made our way to Churchill the hard way. Our scheduled Via Rail train number 693 ended up being a highway bus trip from Winnipeg to Thompson and a train from there to Churchill. However, our 2 days in Churchill were well worth the effort, topped off with a spectacular Northern Light show, which we would not have seen if the train we are on right now departed on time. So here we are, on Via Rail train number 692, on our way back to Winnipeg. We're in upper and lower berths this time, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Sitting up here as we watch the subarctic tundra from our dome car seats, it's a good time to reflect on our time in Churchill. Our 2-day stay in Churchill was in mid-March, towards the end of the February-March Northern Lights season. Beluga whale season runs from June to October. If you want to see polar bears, October and November are often touted as polar bear season. However, if you visit Churchill in late August, it is possible to witness the trifecta: polar bears, beluga whales, and northern lights. That's definitely on our travel list for a future trip. We have upper and lower berths in our Chateau sleeper car. This is what the daytime setup looks like, with facing banquettes for the 2 of us. But there are no doors for privacy. However, our berths were set up in their sleeping mode when we got onto the train at 3:45 in the morning. David is in the upper bunk, and there's a good ladder in the corridor for him to climb. He's got a spacious area up there with the usual high-quality linens and plenty of headroom. A net at the back is handy for storing clothes and other things. There are 2 lights, but no window. I'm in the lower bunk, which does have a big window. There's a convenient shelf at my feet for storing stuff. Both the upper and lower bunks have adjustable air vents. The stiff, heavy curtains can be fastened closed for privacy. Any luggage you have needs to be stored under the lower bunk. Space is very limited. Our 2 backpacks filled the space. If your bags fill this space, your heavy winter boots will need to be stored in the corridor. Just down the corridor from our berth are 2 small washrooms. And around the corner is a full shower room, very similar to those that you would find on the Via Rail Canadian. There's a dressing space with shelves and hooks. The shower temperature is controlled with a dial. Just push the button to get things started. The Skyline car is likely where you'll spend your days. There's a lounge area below, but the highlight is the upper-level dome car, which offers a spectacular 360-degree view. At the other end of the Skyline car is another lounge and dining area.
Because the berths do not have electrical outlets, you want to know about the single outlet in the dining area. I bring along a 3-outlet octopus, so I'm not hogging this limited resource. From here, I run a 3-foot extension cord to the table, connect a wall charger and battery, and leave it for the day so I can then securely charge my devices in my berth at night.
Below the dome area is the kitchen. However, this is not like the Via Rail Canadian. There is no fine dining, and the food is not included in the sleeper class train fare. There's a menu listing light snacks, microwaved light meals and drinks, including alcoholic beverages. And there's a breakfast and lunch menu as well. However, only the breakfast meals are cooked on board. Everything else is prepared food. Credit cards are accepted, but using them may be difficult when there's no cellular signal.
Well, I had a pretty good night's sleep in my upper bunk hidey hole here, but I think it's time to get up, get some breakfast. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I consider the safe way to get out of the upper bunk. Okay, so here we are. I'm crouch position right now. Fortunately, there's quite a bit of headroom here in the upper bunk on the Via Rail Canadian cars, and these are all cars date to 1954, so they're definitely vintage stock. Now, I'm going to make my way down. These ladders over here. Now, right here beside me here, we have our what are called privacy curtains, and they are on hooks. They slide across here. We get a number of comments saying that they're concerned about the privacy in the bunks. I feel actually pretty private. These are pretty thick. They're not like just thin curtains. They've got a real depth to them, and they're held together right here by these little snap connectors here. And really, you just have to connect one to hold it together, and really you've got pretty much complete privacy up here. So I don't think it's too much to be worried. I've never really felt privacy as a concern up here. Probably the biggest concern of most people is that just how to get down from the upper bunk. And to do that, now I'm just going to disconnect my one thing here, snap, and you want to locate where the ladder is, and it's right here right now. Now, what you don't want to do is to go forward and face forward going down the ladder. That's probably asking for trouble. You want to back down the ladder, so from your bed position, you just want to get into a crouch position such as this. You want to find the ladder right here. There we go. And I've got it. And I've just feel down, got my feet there. And by the way, I should mention that there's also concern that maybe if you're a little bit on the older side, you might not be able to do this. Just for reference, I'm 73 years old, verging on 74, and I don't really have any trouble with doing this at all. And so here we go. So I've got one leg down, just swoop this other leg around here, down onto the same step, and like Bob's your uncle, or Dave's your uncle in my case, off we go. And I am down. Pretty safe. So, Gail, how was your night in your rather luxurious lower bunk here? Which, by the way, the lower bunks cost about $132 Canadian extra compared to the upper bunks. Okay, so how did you like it, Gail?
Well, I can only say that it was good. I mean, I had a very restful sleep. I'm shocked that it's after 8 o'clock. So I've slept in. I would never sleep in like this at home. And it was comfy. It was warm. And even the ride didn't make me feel ill.
Okay, I think it's maybe I'm up. I'm ready to go for breakfast. Going to get up now?
I certainly will. I will freshen up because there's nothing like freshening up after you've given a performance on YouTube.
On train 692 headed from Churchill to Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Yes, so this is Saturday, and by Saturday night we will be in the capital of Manitoba, Winnipeg, our hometown. ...
eventually.
That's already late when I say tonight, but
yes,
okay.
It is, yes. I mean, we're right now, the last message we got, there's no cell service right here right now. We're in the middle of wilderness, somewhere south of the Paw, on our way. So it's there's no cell service, so we can't really track our train right now. However, the last message we got last night was that the train is about 6 hours or so late. Now, we could catch up with a lot of time there. Who knows what's going to happen? But that's latest we've heard, and this is now about maybe 12 hours later, perhaps something around that range. So, anyways, yeah, we thought we'd maybe just sort of discuss what our opinion of the trip has been. I think we'll discount the trip from Winnipeg to Churchill because that was such a
dog's
wild,
breakfast.
Yes.
I mean, but you know, Via Rail handled it well. It was smooth and pleasant, just different to what we expected, which actually is probably the earmark of train travel.
Yes. And this is definitely, I would say, definitely a wilderness adventure. You sort of have to roll with the punches with the climate and what have you, and adjust accordingly. And that's what we're doing right now.
And I think that's why people go to Churchill.
Yes.
They want to experience the exotic wildlife, the beautiful tundra, edge of the boreal forest, the northern lights. It's all around you.
That's exactly why you do this, for sure. It is really a wilderness experience. So on that theme, the train itself, although it is, interestingly, you might have seen our videos when we're going on the Canadian, which runs between Toronto and Vancouver. All the cars are the same here. They're still the same cars that were manufactured by Bud Company in the United States in 1954, roughly, and they're all of that same vintage. These are slightly different. The Canadians tend to be the manor cars. These are the chateau style cars. So there's slight differences. So the cars themselves are much the same, and we're sitting in the Skyline Lounge, which is also
our favorite space.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that's there's also a Skyline Lounge on the Canadian as well. So in that way they're similar, but in many other respects they're quite different.
Sure. Well, first of all, it's a shorter train.
Yeah.
There are virtually no people on this train going south to Winnipeg.
Yeah.
There were quite a few people between Churchill and Thompson, and that's because people in two small communities called Thicket Portage and Ilford use the train to go shopping in Thompson. So they're regulars who are using the train. The people who are regular employees on the train know them personally, so it's a little bit like a town on wheels when you're here.
That's right.
But everyone is now disgorged to spend maybe the weekend in Thompson, do their shopping, and so we virtually have the train to ourselves.
Yeah. We're the only people up here in the dome car, the Skyline car, dome portion of the Skyline car. So yeah, we've got the whole place to ourselves.
And can I just paint kind of the picture? Like here, it's virtually all glass. We're hurtling through the boreal forest, and with our relative speed, we've got like snow swooshing against the window. It's a winter wonderland because there had been some recent snow in the trees, so it's like a Christmas card.
And then maybe as a side note, that if you were trying to do, just looking outside here, if you were trying to do the same trip in a car, you probably would have canceled that trip because it looks rather ferocious out there right now. Like the windswept snow, the visibility be so low. So I mean,
it's very monochromatic here with a very gray, pearly sky, bright white snow. That was what struck us in Churchill. Just how much snow and how beautiful and pristine it looked. It was just a delight.
And I think the other difference between the Canadian and this train is just the food. And quite frankly, the food on this train is, well, it's not that good. Really.
No. It's very much processed food.
Yeah.
So here's a hint. I mean, we came armed with some food, and we used it on our, well, it kind of didn't get used as we thought because we had a bus trip most of the way. But, we really should have had more food for coming back. Churchill is well enough stocked that you could have healthy food bringing it back.
Yeah.
We thought, well, we'll just go with the flow with the train to experience it. But, 2 days of processed food kind of goes against our grain.
For sure. Now we did just finish, I think probably what I would say is the best breakfast that they offer, and that is the transcontinental breakfast. And they had buttermilk pancakes. These are the only foods on board that they actually cook here, or those two dishes. So it was nice to get actually some more or less home cooking on the train.
Otherwise, it's microwavable
food.
Cheeseburgers, pizza subs, breakfast sandwiches, that type of thing.
Ramen noodle, cup of noodles kind of thing. Anyways, I think we'll just leave it at that then, perhaps, and enjoy the scenery.
It's been lovely, and may I say, just to reiterate, the sleeping has just been wonderful
Yeah,
here. I've
yeah.
slept much better, both in Churchill and on the train than
Yeah.
at home.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that says, but I've certainly enjoyed it.
The relaxed pace. Let's continue with that. So how much did this train trip cost? Well, it was actually free for us using a combination of via preference points that we had already accumulated, plus a 15% discount for CAA members. If we were to pay cash, our cabin for two from Winnipeg to Churchill would cost $1,294 for the both of us. On the train we're on right now, the upper bunk for me would cost $343 and the lower bunk for Gail $419. That brings the total cost to $2,056. Now, if that seems expensive, remember that it would cost the two of us somewhere between $3,600 and $6,000 to do the same round trip by air.
We are stopping briefly in Dauphin, Manitoba's 12th largest city by population, a rail center for well over 100 years, and home to the Dauphin Rail Museum in the provincially designated Dauphin Railway Station. David and I both professionally worked on the architectural designation of this 1912 Romanesque style structure, Manitoba's finest station design outside of Winnipeg. Time for one last dinner. Tonight, we're having something different that's a bit better than the regular menu items. I'm having a ginger beef meal and David's having butter chicken. There's usually a handwritten menu near the kitchen with about 5 of these microwaved food choices, but not on this train, so be sure to ask if there are other food options available.
Okay, well, there we have it. Another great adventure under our belts.
And all in Manitoba, our home province.
That's right. So we hope you enjoyed this. It was requires a certain amount of, I think, perseverance to complete this kind of journey, but it's certainly worth doing from our perspective. Churchill's a wonderful place, and the train trip, with all its issues, was still lots and lots of fun. So we hope that we've encouraged you to maybe consider taking a train to Churchill and spending some time in Churchill.
And we would
as
recommend
well.
it in any season.
So in the meantime, we hope you liked this video. If you did, we appreciate that thumbs up.
And please subscribe if you haven't already.
And give us any comments you might have about the train trip and about Churchill, whatever you might see. Okay, until next time, this is David
And Gail
saying goodbye.
from Winnipeg.